We're gonna move into something new that we're gonna add to the show here. It's like a would you rather type of segment. So I'm gonna ask Mike some. So I'm gonna give him choices actually between two things, and he's gonna tell me what he would rather and why. And if he wants, he can get me to answer the same one. But we're gonna start with a couple toss-ups, a couple real easy ones here. But would you rather Coke or Pepsi?
Define Coke.
A cola.
Or is this cold Coca-Cola and cold Pepsi, or are these like what's temperatures? Or am I getting too specific and I just need to stick to basics?
Well, I mean, for the sake of conversation, let's just say they were cold for the first one. Which one would you prefer?
Uh, um, Man, I don't even really drink soda, but if I was to all of a sudden go there, I'd say Pepsi.
So you don't drink soda, and you wanted to know if it was the choice between cold or warm.
Makes a big difference.
I see. If it was
Because it was
warm, what
warm,
would it
it
be?
would be Coca-Cola.
Why is that?
It because it just tastes better.
Interesting. Do you prefer if you were to have a pop, let's say of any kind, would you prefer it warm over cold?
It heated really well. If you tried a heated cola,
I've
and you
never
can
had heated
you can
cola.
dip a biscuit in it, like a ginger snap.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't say that I've ever done that. Maybe we'll
But a
save
warm
that.
Pepsi is not the same.
Yeah, see, the thing is I would like to do because in the future, especially when I move and I have access to recording in the kitchen, I would like to do food segments and stuff like that and try different foods and like get the reactions and whatnot. But I can't do anything with pop. Pop just dummies my stomach. So, but okay, so we have looks like we're going Coke there. And let's go to the next one. So, would you prefer for your breakfast bacon or sausage?
Sausage, because bacon is an all-day thing.
So, you equate sausage to just breakfast or just breakfast sausages? Because there's so many different sausages.
Oh, okay. So you're just going all around with the sausage.
No, not really. But like, you know, you get your standard breakfast sausage or whatever, but you wouldn't have, say, the breakfast sausage. You wouldn't have breakfast sausage all day. That's just a breakfast thing
No,
for you.
no, no. Yeah, that's a morning thing.
Do you like to keep your breakfast strictly in the morning, like eggs, all that stuff? Like, you don't have none of that for dinner?
Most of the time, yeah. I'm not one of those people that really likes like a breakfast for dinner thing. I will once in a while, but it's not. I don't know why. It's like a mind fuck. I'm not usually into.
So what's your breakfast of choice then? Like what are you into for breakfast?
Oh shit. Snap. Um,
You're into Snap. Never heard of
no,
that.
it's just this is
Rice
surprises me.
Krispies?
You care about my food. Um, Today my breakfast consisted of two McDonald's coffees, two apple pies.
If you had two cigarettes, it would have been a McDonald's hooker's breakfast.
Oh, nice. um, but yeah, like I go for like a fruit bowl if my stomach can handle it, kind of thing. I ate a lot of candy, so my stomach's kind of like a little off.
As a
Uh,
man that suffers from Crohn's, what you show me that consists of your diet, it's a miracle. A miracle that you walk around, never not keeled over, holding and clenching your stomach all the day.
it's weird. Like I said, I'm in a bit of a remission, so I kind of feel like a free man, but I'm still dealing with side effects. Um, yeah, I had a lot of candy that I probably shouldn't have eaten the other night, but it was good. It was very good. And then I got this. That's just bad news.
Oh, seasoned salt? I love seasoning
Yeah,
salt, man. Ooh,
pierogies with sour cream and a ridiculous amount of seasoning salt. Whew, game changer.
that is good stuff. You know where I got fucked up from seasoning salt and where I really discovered it was A&W because they put it
Oh,
on their fries and their burgers
onion rings, yeah.
and their onion rings. That shit changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do fast food then. McDonald's or Wendy's?
McDonald's, 20 nuggets.
The 20 nuggets? Okay, I love the 20. Do you guys get over there? I imagine you do. The family box meal where it's like 20 nuggets, two fries, or sometimes four small fries or whatever, whatever. Have you ever seen those?
If I did, it was years and years back. As of anything over the last like 4 or 5 years, no.
Oh, okay, because they usually bring it out during Christmas, and it's wonderful. I'll crush the whole box to my face.
Nice.
Sometimes it's like, sometimes it's 20 nuggets, two fries, two drinks, and two cheeseburgers, and two cookies, and it just, yeah, clear out the whole thing. But me personally, Wendy's over McDonald's any day of the week. You give me a Baconator or a Junior Bacon cheeseburger, and their fries are so underrated. I love McDonald's fries. Don't get me wrong, but there's like a McDonald's feels like something like dirty to eat, where to me Wendy's feels like a cleaner meal, even though it's not, but it is. You know what I mean?
I've worked at both.
Me too.
Oh, nice, nice. So
Yeah.
you've do you eat the chili ever since you worked there?
You have worked at Wendy's, because anyone that's worked at Wendy's, they always say, "Do you enjoy the chili?" And the answer is an emphatic no. Not a fucking chance. And do you want to explain why, or do you want me to
Sure,
explain
sure.
why?
I'll explain. Like I used to like the chili. I loved the chili. I was someone who got it all the fucking time. Yeah, like I even will look at their menu and I'm like, oh, fucking chili. Oh, whoa, no, like, But I'll look and I'll be like, yeah. And then it's like, no, there's reason. Other places that make chili, I'm like, fuck this, I can't because I don't know what's going on. So with their meat that's been sitting on the it's kind of like the warming tray or back of the fucking grill, the shit that they're not using, it's too old. So instead of throwing it out, they fucking, from what I recall, it was either getting put in this bin till it cooled down, and eventually it ends up in this bag where I work. Oh, no, 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 wait, no, 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 even fucking worse. I remember it was meat in like a fucking strainer, and you're like fucking your water, cold water over this meat to fucking cool it down, and then when it gets fucking cold enough, you like put it in this bag and fucking then they freeze it and it gets broken up and put into the chili. And it was just like, I was like, this is what you guys do? And they're like, yeah, 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 it's perfectly fine, it just cools it down really fast. And it's like, you're washing cooked meat.
See, I'll I'll put even more detail on it. So on the grill on Wendy's, to give you an idea, is their whole thing is fresh burgers. So they're always giving you a fresh burger. Whereas McDonald's, they just steam a bunch of burgers, throw it in a tray, whatever have you. With Wendy's, they do things in lines. So they'll put like, fresh raw ones down, and then they work them down to grill to the end of the grill. The idea is by the time it gets to the end of the grill, you have perfectly cooked burgers that are ready to serve. Your middles are almost coming up, and then you restock your ends so that you can continue this flow. Well, sometimes those burgers on the ends that are cooked don't sell right away. So, and if you put too many burgers on there, say you're at the end of a rush. So the rush is over now, and you still have all these burgers because you didn't know when the rush was going to end. These burgers start to burn. So then you take those burgers, you put them in the tray, and just like Mike said, you take them to the back and you wash them down. But the sake for washing them down comes in to remove the burnt from the burgers, to get all that burnt shit off of all the burgers, and then it becomes like a clean grayish looking burger. So that's what we did. We used all the burnt ones because we didn't have a tray, and then we would clean them all off. Like Mike said, put them in a bag, mark them down, freeze them, bring them out 3 days later, and then throw them in a sink to thaw them, and then again rinse them down again until they're thawed, and then they're thrown into the chili. I sure as hell hope we don't get sued by Wendy's for releasing their little trade secret here.
See, I wasn't told that's why we were rinsing it off was for the burnt. I was told we were rinsing it off so that it would cool down so that we could get it stocked faster.
Yeah, see, that's, I understand it needs to cool down before it goes into freezing, essentially, if you're worried about putting in something that's hot into a cold area and it possibly spoiling something near it. But come on, these are huge industrial freezers. The 100% reason was to get the burnt off the burgers. That's all, because it just doesn't look good. If you're eating chili and all your burger meat looks burnt or it tastes burnt, that's not going to go over well. So yeah, that's good shit.
Yeah, yeah. Wendy's was a trip for me, man. Same
So
with
when did you
McDonald's.
work at Wendy's? Did you work at Wendy's first or McDonald's
I
first?
worked at McDonald's first, so McDonald's was one of my first jobs. I was 16 when I worked at
Ah,
McDonald's,
see,
16 or 17.
I was
So
16. I started at Wendy's, and then I did the reverse. I worked for Wendy's for about 6 months, and then I got fired with my whole entire shift one night because we all just went bonkers and just started fucking around, and we were chasing each other with Windex and having Windex wars, and not necessarily proud of none of this stuff, but all the Windex was going everywhere, onto the food, onto the greasers, onto the fucking the grill, you name it, everywhere. We were we would hop over the counter with ketchup packages and go next door to Harvey's and start hucking ketchup packages at the Harvey's drive-through and shit. People were taking spoons and forks, because back then spoons and forks were just put into a bowl, a little fish bowl, and you would take them out. They weren't individually sealed or nothing. And the reason why now is because of the people that were on shift that day, and they were just licking them all and throwing them back into the bowls and shit like that. Like, you think you're scared of COVID? If you ate at Wendy's when I worked at Wendy's at 16, you can survive anything. Because that's not even it. There was all sorts of like inappropriate touching that were going on between staff members, and there's all on camera, the whole thing. People were stealing burgers, like everyone went nuts that day, and every single one of us got fired from it. And then I went and worked at McDonald's for like 2-3 weeks after that and decided I'm never doing fast food ever again.
Yeah, man, I used to freeze towels. That was one of my things. I go get a towel soaking wet and I'd throw it in the freezer, and then get someone that wanted to fuck around, have sword fights and shit, or go and scare someone and just slam it up against the counter, make a big banging noise. But yeah, you just have this frozen fucking towel. It was the funniest fucking shit. And then like you'd have the new person on shift and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just leave them alone. Don't fucking touch them. Why is there fucking towels in the meat cooler? You'll find out in a half hour. Just shut the fuck up." Like,
Yeah, as you're
those were
getting
some of my fun.
beaten with, it sounds more like prison. Here's my prison toy.
Oh, I got a good towel whip, man. Like, whoosh. Yeah, I break skin with the ones I do. It's pretty crazy. Well practiced. Well practiced. To the point where I won't do it on someone because it probably hurt them really fucking bad.
Well, when you're talking about the fact of breaking skin, I'd say so. So, but sticking with breakfast stuff, or sorry, not sticking with, going back to breakfast stuff, the big one: pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Why waffles?
There's just more of a crisp to them.
Mm.
Like I'd say there's more of a crisp to them, and just I don't know why, but I feel like there's more effort in them. But yeah, I prefer waffle. Waffle's more diverse too. Like, your waffle could have anything really in it. The pancake is just kind of like a fucking mess that you're trying to keep together.
So we clearly know that Mike doesn't like cooking pancakes. That's one's a tough one for me. I like both of them equally, so I'm gonna pass on answering this one. But this one's gonna be a good one. Who would you rather, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Oh, okay, what do you mean? Like B?
Who would you rather? Like, obviously, at this point, these are both presidents. Who would you rather be your president?
Oh, okay.
I'll just be very specific with you. How about that?
Well, that works because I didn't know like where this was going. If this was like, who you gonna make out with, or like who do you want to shake their hand, or who do you want to go on a car ride with? It's just like, would you rather? So, because if you look up these questions online, the would you rather's can sometimes get really specific, or they can get turned around and used against people.
You spend far too much time online. Far too much time online. You are banned from online. And see, next week I need a new co-host, people.
I got Brad, so Brad can
No,
do my
yeah,
online
yeah.
work.
Well, you're gonna have nothing but Brad eventually if you don't get off the damn internet. So, what is it gonna be? Who do you want as your president? Who are you voting for? Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Fuck, that's a hard one because like on one angle, Joe Biden's just stirring up so much shit from like a troll perspective. There's that. So like, and then a reality perspective would be Trump. So it's actually a really hard one for me because it's like if everyone could know who I voted for, I'd maybe just say Biden just to get a stir. But I guess either way you're doing wrong nowadays. So yeah, I vote for
Yeah,
Trump.
I was about to say there's no right or wrong on that one. There's going to be a subsection of one audience that's going to criticize you for it. So I mean, I'd go Trump too. I just the the press conferences alone where there's no objective and no agenda is worth the price of admission. And whether people want to admit it or not, he did really great things for the country. His problem was Twitter. His problem is he couldn't keep his mouth shut. His problem is he says really stupid things and really inappropriate things, and I will not dispute or deny that. But if you ask the people of America how they're feeling today versus how they felt this time last year, and it depends on what you're asking them in regards to. But I mean, look at gas prices and look at unemployment and all look at all these things that are now suffering under the Biden administration. So, not going to get too political about it, but yeah, my vote would be for Trump too. So this one is a big would you rather. So if there was only one meme that you could have for the rest of your life, a template of a doggo, and it's either Cheems or Dodge, which one are you picking?
This my boy.
Cheems. So Cheems is your pick. So why wouldn't you pick Dodge? Why wouldn't like if you, isn't Dodge the more popular meme?
It depends who you're talking to, I guess. See, like Dodge is more kind of like the hip thing, kind of like pop music, whereas like Cheems is more like the underground cult classic. So like kind of like how there's like Backstreet Boys and like back in the day, like that's kind of like the Dodge thing. Whereas Cheems is just kind of like he's like all around. He's just like super cool and he like does a lot of super cool things. Like every band, not just one band. He's like in his own category. So yeah, Cheems all the way. Team
Cheems
Cheems.
all the way. Well, I got one last one for you. If you could have dinner with one of these individuals, who would you rather? Jeff Bezos, the dick flying out to space dude, or Vladimir Putin?
Oh, Putin all the way. But I'm watching my p's and q's around that guy because like you know like I don't want to get
I,
killed at the end of it.
I don't know. Enlighten me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't want to like piss the guy off.
Why
You
would you
might
be
just
pissing him off?
you might just disappear. Like I don't know. Like every country's kind of got their own codes of etiquette, right? Like I don't know. Like how in like Singapore, it's like you can't spit on the sidewalk. I don't want to do something like that and get in a lot of fucking trouble. So
So
I watch my p's and q's.
what would you ask him if you had dinner with him? First of all, what would you want for dinner when you're dining with the president of Russia, and what would be some of the things that you would ask him?
Oh, okay. So it's one. Yeah, I just thought it was just kind of like sitting at a table. See, it was at a table kind of thing. I get to like ask him questions, and I get to choose what the food is. I'm not picking Putin. I will pick the Bezos
Okay, so why are you changing your answer then?
because I'm not about to pick a fucking cook. I'm not about to pick food that he doesn't like. I'm not about to pick any of that shit. I'm not about to have any of that held on me. Fucking appointments, time restrictions of meeting, and all that shit. No, fuck that. Fuck
So
that.
so needless to say, you're pretty scared of the fella.
I have a lot of respect for him, and I feel like I don't want to be caught slipping. So like, yeah, if I had like a team that set it all up and they chose the food and they chose the time, and I could be like, it's those motherfuckers. I'm just here. They're the ones. They're the ones that can go get the KGB treatment and all that, and I could just kind of be like, hey, it's not my fault. It's their fault. But then it could be my fault for hiring them. So yeah, Bezos, he's just fucking Bezos, right? Like I wouldn't disrespect him or anything, but he's not any Putin.
Well, what would you talk to Bezos about then?
His cool hat,
His cool hat.
his cowboy hat. Where'd he get it? Why the fuck you sporting that shit this whole ride? Like fuck weightlessness, fuck all that. Why are you doing the hat? What's with the hat? Can I have it?
Would you get it autographed if he gave it to you?
Nah, because I think that would boost his ego. I just want the hat.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah,
there you
I
have
just
it.
want the hat.
So that was an interesting segment of Would You Rather's. I'm definitely convinced now that you're scared of Vladimir Putin, and that's just not healthy for you, man.
Okay, well, what would you do with Putin? Who are you gonna have dinner with?
Oh man, Putin all day. It's
Oh yeah.
it's not even close. I mean, the guy rides shirtless on horses and takes pictures, and the whole country's adoring him and loving him. That's so they're so scared of him that they won't even talk shit about a fucking shirtless guy riding a horse. And I'd ask him. I would talk a lot of hockey with him. He's a big time hockey fan, so I would ask him about his opinions on the '72 Summit Series between Canada and the USSR. I would ask him how he feels about the current crop of Russian talents that are coming out. how he's got guys like Nikita Kucherov and stuff that are dominating the NHL. Um, Definitely get some tips and tricks on how to become a tyrant in today's world and be left alone and be almost looked at like a democratic individual. So I think that's pretty unique. I mean, they used to have terms in Russia, and then he came along after his first stint, comes along, does a second stint, and what you know it, you can be president as long as you want now. So you know, there's a lot that I would like to because I just find it fascinating. I find dictators and whatnot very fascinating. I would never be one myself, but I would just like to know what enables you to react to that part that everybody has in their brain, and that's to do bad and evil shit. It's just like what allows you to do it? Is there a filter? Is there a turn off? Is there's so many fascinating things, but yeah, Putin all day. That would be my answer for sure. Bezos is a fucking clown. I'd be like, so you got divorced and you wanted to go into a dick rocket and be Doctor Evil for the day. Fucking cool, bud. And you make more money while having this conversation than I see in a whole entire year. So yeah, he can go fuck himself. But I do love Amazon. Don't get me wrong. I use Amazon a lot, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite when it comes to that. But
And
still,
he thanked you. He thanked all of us.
ah, well, good for him.